Hello.
Hello.
We're coming to you actually from a location that causes just about everybody stress, regardless of whether you have a brain injury or not. And that is, where are we, Patrick?
Airport.
The airport. As you know, airports are an incredibly stressful situation for everyone, but for brain injured people, it's much, much worse. But before we talk about that, we might want to mention that there actually are a lot of people who can't actually fly after a brain injury. They may have seizure disorders, and some people get really bad migraines from flying. Of course, there are phobias that can form after brain injuries, keeping them from flying, and a whole host of other reasons. And one is known as flooding. And do you know what flooding is, Patrick?
No.
Did you ever find yourself in a situation where you were just so neurologically overwhelmed by all the stimuli that you just suddenly couldn't think anymore and you just felt emotionally terrified or panicked or like you wanted to cry? A lot of people with brain injuries will become flooded and overstimulated neurologically, and this can cause paranoia, anxiety, crying, vomiting, all sorts of things. And airports are certainly a place where I could see that happening.
Yeah, 'cause there's like a lot of light and a lot of auditory stimulations happening.
No, very good, Patrick. There's a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And actually,
even currently.
that's correct. Something that you guys might not know is that people have a filtering system that's located in their brain that allows us to, filter out things that our brain decides aren't really necessary in the moment for us to be processing. But when you have a brain injury, you have a lot of trouble. Patrick loves to yawn during my videos. When you have a brain injury, you have a lot of trouble filtering out the proper things. Everything comes in, and you can't figure out what you want to pay attention to and what you don't. We're lucky that Patrick is able to fly. He doesn't get migraines. The flight doesn't seem to bother him. And he really actually doesn't also struggle with a lot of flooding. Now, we're going to tell you what not to do. And that is exactly what I did this morning, because we're all human. Do not wait until the last minute to pack your bags. Realize that you did not pay your rent and run around like a crazy person trying to make that happen. Do not wait until 20 minutes before your flight to actually finally make a list of things that you should remember to bring. Do not forget to print out your boarding pass and then have to leave your boyfriend in the security line while you went back to get it. Don't do those things.
No.
But if you do those things, because we're all human as caregivers, you might want to have some coping skills that you create with your survivor to get you through those moments. What do we say to each other, Patrick, when you're starting to lose it, or I'm starting to lose it?
Let's check where your energy is. Check your energy.
Check your energy is what we say. This morning when we woke up, because of the fact that we were so totally unprepared for our flight, I definitely noticed a big change in Patrick's demeanor. He was a lot more anxious. How would you describe it, Patrick, this morning and today?
Worried.
How were you?
Concerned.
Worried, concerned.
Yeah, like, do we have enough time? Like, constantly, some amount of time is not enough. How do you get more time? Go back. Go back.
He was pretty concerned that we weren't going to make the flight. Almost irrationally concerned. And so you have to remember when you have a brain injured person that this is a result of the injury.
What time is it? What time
and he
is
kept saying,
it?
I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen.
I knew it was going to happen.
Right.
This is going to happen to us because, like, sometimes here and there, we have been late for things. Anymore, I'm trying to prevent that.
Patrick brings up a really good point, which is people with brain injuries need routine. They crave routine. The same part of the brain that has difficulty filtering out all the stimuli at the airport, like Patrick's having a difficult time right now doing, is the same probably part of the brain that is not flexible. Our brains are malleable, they're flexible. After a brain injury, there's a lot of rigid thinking. Brain injured people really do need routine. So when you're going to travel, which Patrick and I love to do, and it's a mix-up in your routine, have everything printed out ahead of time, share those documents with your survivor so that they have, okay, this is when we're going, this is what's happening when they start to feel overwhelmed or start to feel scared or anxious. That's all, I guess, for today. We have a flight to catch. Peace.